right. Oh, he'll be popping in here in a minute.
All right, here we go again. Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. And these brothers have probably been trying to keep quiet and silent, waiting for the intros to come. So they're ready to bust. There's a lot to talk about. So I want to just cut to the chase first by saying thank you for tuning in, whether you're tuning in live or on the replay. We appreciate you joining us. We are on DFG Podcast 46. So we are just moving along. I can't believe we're 46 episodes in and still going strong. Hook up with us here on youtube.com/drama free gaming. And of course, look up DFG Podcast at anchor.fm and everywhere else where you might listen to audio of this. And I got to get better on the audio side because sometimes I forget to put the audio up there. But we got Sleek already in the chat, always faithful. He's like, juices are flowing. That's right. I don't know about you guys, but a moment ago, just before I hit that live button and started thumping that music, I wasn't feeling it, to be honest. How you guys doing? Jay, how are you doing today?
Today was a long day. Got a new job. Got to drive a little over an hour to and fro. And then got some extra work tacked in when I got home, so I didn't get home and just sit down and think. I had to keep going. So now that I've finally been home for a little bit and I calmed down and I got my nerves, I'm good.
Nice. We're going to talk a little bit about that transition and a couple of more arcade one-ups that have graced your apartment, but you're not going to say nothing now. We're just going to move on to Henyo because Henyo has been on this shopping spree, and I'm surprised he's still alive. Henyo, talk to us. What's going on?
Well, I've been in meetings all day. And when I mean all day, I've been in back-to-back. At one point, I had 3 meetings at the same time. I don't know how I did that, but... and I'm ending my day in a meeting with you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy it.
Wow. At least this is a better fun meeting, right?
Yeah, this will round off my day in a good way. So
yeah, man, yeah,
glad to be on.
Hopefully, we're not having a meeting about the next meeting that we're having. So I've been in those. Been there.
No, please don't scare me.
I still have time to save for a tuxedo for the 50th podcast.
There you go.
Yes.
There you
go.
We got 4 more, and we're at the big 5-0. So we're getting there, and we're getting better as far as trying to get in here and get it done more often. And I know life hits us between the eyes sometimes. We're just your gray-headed gamers, and the YouTube millions has not graced us yet, but we're working on it. And it takes you and me and a village and Sleek. Sleek is talking about packed his new Ninja Turtle lunchbox. Yeah. Did any of you guys see? Did any of you guys, now that he mentioned it, and this is like way off topic, but let's just start with something trivial, miscellaneous. Did any of you guys see the new Ninja Turtle game announcement?
No.
Week I did.
Oh, you didn't see it, Jay? And you call yourself a gamer.
Hold on, look, man. I had a rough day.
A day. Okay, this has been out for like several days.
I worked hard.
Look, man. I've been stuck on Alien Fire Team right now, just in case y'all didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk more about that later. But continue.
Alien Fire Team. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I'm the one that put you onto Alien Fire Team. Oh no, you told me about Alien Fire Team.
I put you Alien Fire Team.
That was last week. Right. That's old news, brother. That's old news. We're talking about TMNT. But anyways, yeah, Sleek's the one that shared it, and we're gonna keep that word spreading. But yeah, check it out. Just go on YouTube, type in TMNT, brand new game, whatever, and you'll see it. It looks like it's going to give a nod to the old school arcade TMNT with everything up to 4 players and that cool feature when you used to throw the foot soldiers into the screen.
That was Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time, that's right. So it looks like it's going to have a couple of nods back to those games, but let's get into the topics, man. Let's get into the topics here.
Okay, can I get something out the way first?
Well, you want to get something out of the way? Go ahead.
Okay. To those who watched the very first live stream that I did, I apologize to you all. I mean,
Why would you
actually,
not
What are you
accept it?
apologizing for, bro? Those are part of the growing pains.
I know. See,
And Jay,
the thing is,
go ahead.
the thing is, I didn't see these brothers talking in the chat. I was too defeated in gameplay, and then I just got mad. I was like, I'm just gonna beat this game, no matter how bad it is at this point. But there will be improvements coming, and there is a new live stream that'll be coming up here soon.
Yeah. If you guys didn't catch Jay's like a Virgin Castlevania kind of sort of speed
Oh, the
run,
cherry got popped
and maybe that's
horribly.
what I should have titled it, because that brother was like,
No,
"Yeah, I'm gonna speed
dude.
run this," and no, he didn't. He just kept dying and
No,
dying, but he
it-
finished. He
it's
finished. Yeah.
it should be called "How Not to Speed Run Castlevania" is what we should call it.
Well, I think it'll get more clicks if we put in like a Virgin Castlevania
Oh
gameplay.
my god!
I don't know.
But
Sounds
you know,
more interesting.
but you know what? After I get a couple games under my belt, there will be a Castlevania round 2 in the pipeline. I'm not going out like that. I do have to make that up, and it will be coming.
All right. Well, and
All right,
guys,
so let's
if
kick
you're
it off.
catching the video of this and you saw maybe about a minute or two of just a blank screen, it was because I didn't have the gameplay going. I did capture some Outriders, which is the nice segue here to asking you guys, did you get a chance to check out the demo, which I believe is still up perpetually until the game releases April 1st? Outriders. Did you guys play it, try it, look at it? Curious? Jump in.
Jay, if you're not gonna comment, I will.
Go ahead, man. I haven't. I got it downloaded. I just hadn't touched it yet.
Well, I got to download it and play it. I actually had a really good time of it, and I think this one might be on the stove for sure. I really did enjoy this one. I like the way it looked on my new system, and I think it just had everything done right. Like it didn't feel weird or anything clunky or anything like that. It felt natural to play it. You know what I'm saying? It got you into the action. So looking at the gameplay right now, yeah, it takes me back there. I liked it. I'm definitely gonna get in this one.
Cool. Jay, I know you said you had the demo downloaded, but you didn't get a chance to actually play it. Have you heard anything? Does this game call your attention? What's the deal?
Being 100% honest, when me and you called, I think it was about a week ago, and we were chatting about Outriders. It was definitely it was a blip on my radar to Aliens Fireteam came out, and then it just hit bottom shelf. Because I'm Aliens Fireteam. Not only am I a gigantic Aliens fan, Aliens Fireteam is up my alley. Not saying I wouldn't play Outriders, but it's hard enough finding people getting everybody to play a single game at a time.
Yeah.
When Monster Hunt, we got other games coming out.
Yeah.
That's just going to be snatching that time away. So that's the crappy part too.
Yeah. No, and
this is a good.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man.
No, I was just gonna jump in there and say that what you're saying is true. I don't want to take anything away from Outriders, but Outriders is one of those games that you're gonna need to group up. It's meant to be played with a group, primarily 4 people. It looks like it's going to be 4 people per party. And Sleek mentioned in the live chat over at our DFG or Drama Free Gaming on Discord that this could be the Destiny killer. It's been said before, but my comment to that, Sleek, and to anyone out here is if you're aiming to kill Destiny or take over Destiny, you're too little too late. They've gone through the growing pains. They figured it out. And they continue to push that locomotive forward. So this game, I did play Outriders. And I'll tell you what, you guys jump in and tell me, but doesn't something always feel great when it's shiny and when it's new? and you're just jumping into it for the first time and you're playing it. And of course, it helps that the game is buttery smooth. I'm playing on the Series X. I believe Henyo experienced it there as well. Did you not?
Yes, I did, and it's delicious.
And it's delicious. It's juicy and it feels good. I was hearing comments on the internet as to how the game is kind of and I agree, is kind of a mix between um what's the game? Gears of War, and what's the other game? I for me, it felt like Gears slash grounded Anthem, which is not a bad thing, because Anthem you fly around and stuff, but like a Gears slash grounded Anthem. And I'm referring to the powers that your character eventually will get as you progress in the story. And you can tell that if you get a group of 4 and people pick each individual character and you combine those powers to take out your enemies, it feels so satisfying. What was your take on that, Henyo?
Yeah, I think the satisfying part was the enemies are very aggressive. I think that was what really turned me to it. I was like, oh wow, this is really good. Like they weren't shy about approaching you, or I mean, they played it smart. They would go in cover, but at some point, they would come out of cover to come after you. So you kind of you could hide for a little bit, but after a while, they would definitely come after you if you don't move out the way. And I think I found that like really cool.
Yeah,
smart.
I felt that it was like promoting aggressive play, right? Like you didn't spend time, like all your time in cover. You eventually had to, but it was like, okay, if you spend time in cover, they're gonna come for you, right? Did you feel that?
Yeah, absolutely. They you felt the element of what they call when they come to by your side. I forgot that
The
term.
flank, they were flanking.
Flanking.
Yes,
Yeah, they would
definitely.
definitely flank you. So you couldn't get too comfortable. I mean, it would be a matter of time before they start flanking you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I like about what you were saying earlier about the class situations. Just for that, since how each class is different, and once you pick a class, your weapons and know what you have to do, and then you get a reliable team that everybody knows their job.
Yeah.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Whether it's Division, Destiny, any kind of game you play, if you got a squad that knows how to work together and roll together, you have the most fantastic time. Period.
Yeah, I played. Go ahead, Henyo.
No, I mean, the equipment, the loading of the equipment, like it was very clean. Like you ain't have to go searching for stuff. It was all right there in front of you. The layout of your, progression as a character, the type of, I forgot what they call it. It's like a grid of what you want to actually, lean towards.
Right, the tree.
The tree was right there in front of you, wide in the open, and it was just very clean to me. Like I didn't feel like I had to go looking for stuff.
Yeah, one of the praise that I have for this game, and so far, remember guys, we're playing a perpetual demo until April 1st when the full game releases. And one of the things that I applaud, and hopefully they will deliver, but I'm going to applaud it, is that the developers have laid out already the plan for the post game. So when you guys jump on this game, those of you who are going to play and inhale the story and get to end game, there's already a slew of after the party, you might say, that end game content that's going to keep you busy, hopefully for a considerable amount of time. Now, this is where a lot of other looter shooters have bombed. And I see that Sleek mentioned Avengers. That's one. Anthem, the same thing. These games, if you don't have content after that end game, then the looter shooter aspect of it is just it's worthless. Doesn't matter how good your game is, the mechanics are, the world, the graphics, the resolution, the frame rates, all this other stuff. there's no content. Content is king. And so especially
Look,
for these games, and I'm hoping that People Can Fly can deliver on the content. You were gonna say, Jay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, look, as far as looter shooters go, if anybody in this panel has played any Diablo game and wonders why Diablo does it right, has enough content to shut people up, and they keep it coming, this is why Diablo's been in the game so long, people. Everybody trying to bite off them, but can't seem to do it right.
Yeah, well,
Just saying.
we'll see. Like I said, People Can Fly has boasted of having a bunch of content already lined up post Endgame, and we'll wait and see. How far did you play the demo, Henyo? How far did you get? Did you level all the way to 7?
Well, no. I mean, I was by myself, so I mean, I only played the first tier. I got to
Okay.
the first tier, and then I
Okay.
was like, okay, well, I have work the next day and stuff like that. Otherwise, I would have still been playing.
Gotcha.
And I really didn't match up with anyone. It was just, I just the other day.
All right. Well, you see some solo play. This is my play, for better or worse, that's on here playing the demo. What's up to Nate? Nate, I see you on the YouTube live chat. What's going on? Yeah, so I was playing the game, trying to figure it out. I noticed that the cover system, I'm hoping that it's a little bit more sticky. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like bouncing in and out of cover was not as fluid is the word. You bounce into cover, and then you had that whole gears where you point to the next one and you held A and it would take you there, but it didn't feel like when you popped out of cover, it just didn't feel fluid. So that's just one critique. But as you can see now, the menu, if you're looking at this live, you can see the menu, and how your character, you're going to be outfitted 3 weapon slots, primary, secondary, third. And then your actual equipment is going to have different bonuses and stuff that you can customize to your liking and to your play style, which is again going to affect your abilities and all that other stuff. I played it all the way through level 7 actually with my brother, and we had a blast, and the enemies actually got harder, like more aggressive and stronger. Now, I don't know if they're bullet spongy or they actually were just tougher and we were still not as geared up, but we'll see. We'll see as to that.
Well, I only did the first tier, but it felt like a good thing. It didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't feel invincible.
Yeah.
It felt like okay, I'm damaging them. It's just a matter of me taking them down. So I don't think it felt spongy to me.
Yeah. No, never did it feel spongy. But the comment that I'm making is when I said earlier on, if you get this game, you should be playing with a group, a full squad, and hopefully everybody is playing a different character, because it's definitely promoting that synergy of using your abilities. The cooldowns are pretty quick, and you can equip gear to minimize the cooldown. So it reminded me of Anthem. That's what I mean in a good way. Anthem promoted you to use your specials and in combos, and it was really satisfying. And this is one of the things that I think Outriders and People Can Fly here are trying to emulate, and I think they got it. So it's on the radar, but it's a wait and see for me. What do you think, Jay? A wait and see, or?
It's at the. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but it's at the back of the bus.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not knocking it in 100% of the word, but there are just too many games that are going to be too far ahead of it. That by the time I put my hand on Outriders, it wouldn't much matter because I'd be left behind in the dust.
Yeah, well, maybe you and I will be left behind in the dust, and we'll group up and have some fun with it later on, because I'm with you there.
I want to call this game the Friday Night Special.
Friday Night Special.
Well, it won't be me then. I'll be working.
Yeah.
I'll be looking sad on the Friday night special.
It's okay.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's obviously a game that you definitely want to hook up with your boys on. Heading into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I
So
could
what
see
else you got for me?
well, I can see, like I said, I'm gonna move on to the next one, but I can see that you know, it'll be good to jump in if you have again some people to play and say, hey, let's play this for about an hour or two, and then keep it moving because it's not one of those games that I want to give my life to. Definitely not. So
No.
anyway,
His life
on.
His life is sold to
Yeah.
March 26th. His life is over.
Yeah,
Like his life is destroyed.
Yeah,
I'm just letting y'all know right
I put a ring on it. I actually upgraded from the just a regular game to like the bonus game. I said I gotta support Capcom and
wow. Then you went all the way up to the bonus game, man.
everything, man. Everything.
Oh, this dude went all he went all out on the Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter is my favorite game, hands down. I already said it, so
if it's a game you're gonna play, you will.
Yeah. And I told y'all, if it's before March 26th, y'all have his attention. After March 26th, don't ask him about no other game.
No, man, it's okay.
We're
talking about a
don't.
game that if you're really into and you're going to play and you're going to invest time and everything else, resources, MLB The Show 21, the dev streams. What's going on with that, Henyo?
So as the game is preparing to come out, you're gonna see the developers stream some more. Looking forward to it. They're already dropping small, 2-3 minute clips talking about changes in the game. And you could obviously, follow them on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and all that stuff. And they're gonna start releasing a little bit about the game and the changes that they've made. Which every year they do make changes.
Very
So
cool.
looking forward to that.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Now you have, well, you probably don't have a dilemma. I'm sure that you're going to be playing on one system out of the two, but talk to us about that, man. I'm curious. How did you get into this predicament of yours?
No comment.
No comment. That's right.
that brother don't want to leave no evidence. That's all that is, right there.
We're live.
That brother don't want to say.
He's in close proximities right now, so I was trying to bait him, but that's okay. I got you. I understand.
Let's just say, if you pay attention to, to Twitter and stuff like that, you could get very lucky and land a console.
Yeah.
You just got to be paying attention.
Definitely. I know one of the sites that you looked at was that Ant Online, and that worked out for you. So if you guys are out there and you're still looking for these next-gen consoles, that's maybe one place that you want to look at. Please do not give your money to scalpers. Please don't do it. Don't do it. My brother's still looking for a Xbox, and he was texting me just earlier this week and talking about, hey, I saw somebody on eBay who is offering the Series X with Cyberpunk and a Cyberpunk controller, and they want $850. And I was like, no. I said, no. You can walk into I walked into Best Buys the other day, and I saw Cyberpunk, that just came out in December, for $38.
I seen it for $29.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. Well, there you go. I won't be surprised if that game winds up on Game Pass. I think that's gonna be its saving grace on console. It needs to go to Game Pass.
We gotta see what happens in this next patch.
Yeah.
The developers really did get hit hard with the hackers. It sent them reeling, and it set their timeline really far back. But we gotta see what they do in the next patch. If their patch seems to be a really good one, it might bring breathe life into the game.
Yeah. Jay, what's going on in the background, bro? You like stirring something, mixing something?
Nah, my bad, y'all. Look,
Okay.
I had to take y'all to the kitchen with me to get something to drink.
Oh,
And
okay,
how
okay.
did you carry your desktop up to the kitchen?
Wow, I'm gonna carry a whole desktop all the way to the kitchen, right?
Jay is portable and running on his new hardware. What's up with that? How you feeling about that new hardware? Let's just keep jumping all over the place while we're at it.
Oh, okay. I know, right? We just from one to the okay. So, for those of you that don't know, which most of you do, I got an Acer Predator Helios 300,
Mm-hmm.
which has a 270 RTX card, which is old news, but it's good for me because
It's RTX. That's all that matters.
That's right.
All,
Yeah,
all that matters is the RTX. You got the technology.
Jay, get
That's all
on
that
that mic because you're sounding echoey again. Come on. I want
hold
that
on,
sexy
is
dark.
that better?
I want that sexy dark voice of yours. Come on now.
Oh, see, this brother says
I'm not
sexy
getting it. I'm
dark.
not getting it. I'm not feeling it tonight. And you're disappointing the audience, bro.
Oh, but wow, really?
Let's go.
Oh, so hold on. So I'm supposed to bring it down and let y'all know how it is.
Yeah,
bro.
there you go. I just want you to I want your lips to just caress the mic.
Ho, bro. You asking a little too much right there.
That's all you got to do.
You're getting a little too close right there.
I want to hear the pops and the
Jesus Christ. We're gonna have to rename this podcast.
I know, right? Late night with some crazy gamer dudes as they talk.
Well, so you're running a new rig. You're feeling good. We already mentioned you're gonna be retro gaming, and yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was still working out the kinks on the stream, and it's just fun playing with something new compared to. I mean, I have a jalopy of a laptop that I used to talk to you guys on, and it would take me, oh Lord, just to log in, it would take 5 to 10 minutes, and I would have to be on beforehand. And now it's just I'm there, and it's just like, wait, is this? It's like when you buy your first brand new ever car, and you're like, man, this car is fast. Man, why does this look so good? The AC, the windows,
the AC down. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that because I never bought a new car, but that's all right.
Sunroof.
Oh, he said sunroof.
Sleek is over in the chat talking about 3 dudes and 1 mic. Ooh, get comfy. Paint that picture. Paint that picture.
Oh my God, no.
Oh man.
Not Sleek. Why would you say something like that? That's like the worst.
Yeah, we're walking the line here. It is a mature audience, but let's keep it G, right? Let's keep it G.
Look, Jay, look, I got something to say, Jay. That new laptop, you're gonna reap the benefits. It's gonna make you want to do more things because you're gonna see the power of it. And you're just gonna be like, okay, all I need is a little bit more storage, and I'm gonna put all my stuff there, and I'll be able to get it.
I got the storage. I went out and got an external hard drive, so I'm good.
Nice,
for sure, yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it'll definitely motivate you to get involved.
No, I'm 100%. It's just as we said earlier, especially End Time, he said life just drop kicks us. And me and End Time, honestly, we're trying to get up this week to work out more kinks, but life just happened.
Yep.
So when we get a lot more of the kinks worked out and get it to where everything is stable for what needs to be done, then I will start live streaming loads more games. And I definitely got an RPG plan for that run. It might be in parts, but I will be running an RPG in segments that it'll be for you, Sleep.
Yeah, you're talking Sleek's language now. Let's keep things rolling here because we can talk about plans and stuff coming, but we're here and now. What do you guys think about the almost confirmed? It's not even rumors anymore. It's out there. It's just about confirmed. Maybe you guys who are listening to this, Sleek, chime in on this. But what do you think about the OLED screen switch that's coming? It's inevitable. It's gonna be here. What do y'all guys think about that?
Can I go first? I'll make this simple.
Yeah.
My son's getting my old Switch. That's all that needs to be said.
That's it. So you're sold. You're getting the brand new hookup, the OLED screen switch.
Okay. Those of us that are parents that you're watching this, whether you are a man or a woman, when you buy a new car and the other one's run down, a little beaten, a little worn for wear, we can let Junior or Juniorette drive it. It's had its time while you get fresh and shiny. So, I mean, I'm just saying. They're going to get fresh and shiny eventually anyway, so what does it matter?
What about you, Henyo, that I know you don't personally have a Switch? Is this it? Is this the jumping point for you? Can this be it?
Yeah. If yes, it would be a jumping point, when the time comes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But not immediately, but definitely that would definitely get me into the Nintendo realm.
So what do we have to see Nintendo deliver other than an OLED screen? Because an OLED screen can make the picture look pretty, but what does it need to do for you?
It does everything well. It does everything well right now. That's just the plus. That's just the bonus. To what they're doing now. They definitely got a nice library. The system itself is solid. And they're just gonna complement it now with an OLED. Forget it. It's just
hold on. Stop right there. With every compliment you just said, why don't you own one?
Good question. I don't know. It's just I've never been a Nintendo guy. I've never owned a Nintendo product. I've never really played a Nintendo game. Like I've seen
blasphemy.
I know.
Blasphemy. You call yourself a gamer and you talking like this?
Hey, we got preferred consoles here, okay? You like your PlayStation 5 and I like my Xbox. And Henyo's a PC gamer. So what's up with that? Come on, guys.
This dude coming with this. This dude coming with the sacrilege, man. Come on.
The answer is simple. You just spend so much time on other things that you really don't have enough cycles to just spread yourself like that. You're focused on one thing, or maybe two at that.
Yeah.
And that's the realm that I'm at. Think about it.
Well, see, then again, I guess I'm different because I owned every Nintendo console that's have been released.
Right.
I've literally owned the NES, the SNES, the Virtual Boy, the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy. Oh my God!
We get it. You ain't got to list them all.
But so Henyo, come. You already went and jumped out and got the big stuff. You might as well just get one more. More.
So here's
that
something.
Would be the point.
And here's something. I'm gonna throw this at you guys. I'm gonna throw this curveball at you guys, and let's see who's gonna hit it and who's not. But Sleek makes a comment and he says, for him, he always needs to have the greatest, right? But he wants to see improvements. He wants to see, in other words, hardware that's bigger, a bigger screen, OLED capable of 4K, okay? Give him a better battery life off the dock. So he's talking about specific things, and I hear the chatter of people talking about Nintendo is the only company that gets away with things that PlayStation and Microsoft can't. For instance, we have a handheld in the Nintendo Switch that puts out games at 720p, okay? 720p in dock mode, 1080, okay? If you're lucky, all right? Sometimes it's 920, okay? But do you guys think, or do we really need, or will we give Nintendo a pass if this OLED screen is just a nice shiny thing? It's still going to display at 1080, but your picture's going to look great on an OLED, but it's still 1080. Let's say handheld. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Handheld, they bump it up to 1080, but you're not getting 4K. What? Are you good with that?
On a handheld, yes. I don't have any handheld device right there outside of Nintendo that could do that at the moment that, that's affordable right now or, common right now. Nintendo could get away with it because they're really the only player in town right now.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? I think I know your answer.
Look, Nintendo's Nintendo. I mean, honestly, Nintendo is pretty much one of the OGs of gaming. And no matter what they do, they're gonna, even though they'll hit a bump in the road, I've never seen Nintendo actually put out an utter failure except for Virtual Boy. I think that was their only utter failure in gaming. Otherwise, Nintendo's always put out a hit, no matter what.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys something. It can have an OLED screen. That's great. I don't need 4K. I would love it for it to be 1440p. That'd be nice. I know it's wishful thinking, but I'll be happy with an OLED 1080 handheld, 1440 docked. If we're going that route, of course, I agree with Sleek. A better battery life off the dock. But my one thing is, and maybe it doesn't even matter because I'm on my Nintendo, I'm about 95% digital. And so I know there's a lot of people that still get physical copies for the Nintendo Switch and they want backwards compatibility. What if it doesn't have it? Is that a good move, bad move? What do you think? Do you care?
I honestly don't care. Nintendo gives me a cool enough library as it is. I mean, seriously, if you don't know how to emulate by this point, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I ain't talking about emulation. That's a whole other
I'm
topic.
saying, like,
but I'm talking about
What
Nintendo
I'm saying is,
Switch and
digital. And what I'm saying is, no, I get it. What I'm saying is, Nintendo themselves have a gigantic slew of games you can pick from. Just Switch alone. And then they got their the NES and the SNES. They got those two things you can. They always switch out games. Do all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You there? Hello.
I'm still here.
Yeah,
we're listening.
Oh, okay. Everybody got quiet.
No, we're just listening attentively to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I guess the point I'm trying to really honestly make, without sounding like too much of a jerk, I can agree with.
Listening to your point.
I can honestly agree. Like, first, let me agree. Just get it out of the way. I agree with Sleek, in time, all battery life, cool. OLED screen, off the dock, I could take it or leave it. Because I play more on the dock than I do off. So I'm necessarily not going to really, that wouldn't benefit me much. But if you give me, they're going to get more power. So that means you're going to be able to run stronger games. Overall, it's going to be a win. I mean, you just want my honest opinion, straight up, out the door. New Nintendo Switch, you'd be an idiot not to buy it. It's going to be a major improvement. The games are going to be better because it's Nintendo. And if you doubt Nintendo and anything you do, you ought to be shot in the face.
Well, I tell you what, I may be that idiot, and I'm gonna let Henyo say something, but I'm not running out and getting it day one. I'm on a wait and see because my system right now, my Switch, and I got the OG drop day one Switch, and I'm perfectly fine with it right now, to be honest. And I don't see myself, although I'm excited about a new Switch and what it could bring, I'm like, why change something or pay for something again, which Nintendo has a track record for? They're going to sell you Mario Kart again, Luigi's Mansion again, Smash Brothers again. They're going to sell you all these games again. And I'm not criticizing because I've bought them multiple times. But I don't think that I'm going to run out day one. I need to see something that's going to make me go, OMG, I have to have that day one. And so far, the announcement of an OLED screen, it does not do it for me. It really doesn't. Even better graphics, it doesn't do it. If they tell me, hey, we figured out the drift on our Joy-Con controllers, and here it is, then we're moving in the right direction. But for now, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to rain on the parade. I'm sorry that I'm not a fan like that, but nope, not me. What's up, Henry? You were going to say something.
Is
Oh, go
battery
ahead.
life that big of an issue? Is the battery life that big of an issue?
It
I mean, if you're
depends.
talking about portability, and for
Yeah.
me, it's not, to be honest. It's not because of the setup that I have now, portable. Y'all guys have seen it. I got my Pixio screen where I take my Nintendo Switch through the USB-C cable, plug it into that Pixio screen. I'm playing at 1080 on a huge screen, all right, with a wireless controller, first party Nintendo wireless controller, and I'm having a blast. So I don't, I found my own workaround. I don't play on the Nintendo screen on the undocked mode, on the portable mode. For me, it's too little.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's why I never got into the 3DS, the 3D XL, and all that other stuff. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It killed my eyes.
Not even in the bathroom.
Not even.
I mean, being honest with you, Henyo, my son uses the Switch off the dock more than I do. If I'm playing the Switch, it has to be on the dock because I don't know what it is. I don't go portable. Like I don't have time. Like no matter where I go, the only portable device I can really have with me that's that portable is my phone. Otherwise, I could take my Switch, but I'll have to leave it in the car. And if somebody takes my Switch out my car, it's gonna be some hands thrown. So, but
Yeah.
that's why the portability doesn't really mean that much to me. It's like I put mine on the dock. So yeah, you increase the dock power.
Yeah.
Like Anton said, you give me 1440. That put a smile on my face. Like I wouldn't want to see a Monster Hunter game running in 1440. Oh, dude, ooh,
I'm playing.
the
Hey, let me
smoothness and the
share a secret with
crispness.
you guys. I play on docked mode on my Switch. I'm playing at 1440p. I bought a device called the M Classic, and what it does is just it's anti-aliasing, and you plug that bad boy into your dock and you run your Switch, your HDMI through it and whatnot, and I play 1440p. Don't need a new Switch. I just bought the M Classic and I'm good to go.
Well,
You know what
you
I'm
ain't
saying? I
hurting
mean,
at all. Then.
there's ways around it. And guys, I've said it before. I play on my 1440p LG monitor, 32-inch monitor. Switch games look beautiful. Xbox games, Xbox Series X games look beautiful on this screen. I don't remember the last time I played on my 55-inch LG, to be honest with you. I just play in front of my computer monitor now, and I'm like, I can't believe that this is not, 4K. I know it's 1440, it's 2K, but everything looks so crisp and beautiful, and I'm like, why go back? Why I don't need a 55-inch other than to watch Netflix and my movies and stuff. That's what I'm doing on my TV now.
Yeah.
And I thought I would
played.
never say that, but here I am.
I recently played MLB The Show on a TV of lesser quality, and boy, what a difference with the refresh rate and the resolution versus even though the game can't go up a certain refresh rate, but the resolution itself, oh man, it's just the game almost played differently to me. It felt like stuttery and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big difference in my book. When you look at from a monitor to TV comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm feeling that now and have been feeling it. Like I said, go ahead, Jay. I'm not gonna repeat myself. Go ahead.
I even though y'all are far above my head in tech talk right now, I just would like to say it's just awesome knowing how far gaming has come compared to 25 years ago. Like 25 years ago, the three of us wouldn't be talking about playing games on even in 1080p.
Right.
We were still doing big screen audio video, or you had to get the
4x3,
connector and screw in the
the 4x3
screws.
box.
Oh my God!
Squinting and
So
pretending that you were actually looking at a character and it was just a bunch of
yeah,
sprites.
yeah. So guys, for those that are listening, understand. I get hyped listening to this conversation, especially when you're talking about resolution. When we grew up, CRT TVs. When you got, when they were really just touching in the 480i and all that, you got excited just to go, what's 480i?
Right.
And then you see it for the first time, you're like, oh my God, look at the picture. Now look at what we're talking about. So that's why I love gaming. This is why I love it so much.
Yeah, yeah. And we're not knocking any of it. We're talking about, what's the latest and greatest and the ongoing conversation. What do we want? Resolution, what do we want? Frame rates, what do we
Yeah.
want? Better graphics, what do we want? Smoother gameplay, what do we want? More content, blah, 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 blah. I mean, goes on and on and on. And we're just trying to frame it in a way where, like we're talking about the Switch, kind of like round these things off and move on to the next thing. But let's see, guys. Let's see what Nintendo is going to bring. If there's one thing, Nintendo always has a couple of things, not just one thing, but a couple of things up their sleeve, and they do bring that wow factor. And I'm not expecting anything less from whatever this new quote unquote Switch is going to be. So, moving on, I want to take.
Before we go,
Go ahead.
can I make one quick prediction?
You go ahead.
The new Nintendo Switch that's coming, more than likely, Bayonetta 3 will drop on it.
Okay.
Because Nintendo has an exclusive license with Team Little Angels. And
Okay.
they are the ones who produce Bayonetta, and Bayonetta is a system seller.
Okay.
So just saying, that's just a
Was a good
prediction.
game. Yeah,
Okay.
I like the way that game played and looked.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So-
All right. Well,
so
you
keep an
heard
eye-
it.
keep an
You
eye
heard
out.
it here. Jay is saying
Keep an eye out.
Bayonetta. Is that gonna be the launch game for the Switch?
Well, the Switch already launched, but for the Switch, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say
for
a
the
launch
new
game.
Switch. Jay, come on.
I say it's down the. It's definitely in the turnpike.
Okay.
I say it's definitely in there. It's going to be in the mix.
It's gonna be one of those attention getters, right? So we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see what
yeah.
happens with that. Hey, yo, you made some mention of a couple of games. One of them being Dark Souls. And what about Dark Souls? I know Jay don't play Dark Souls, but
Jay ain't got the patience nor the temperament to play Dark Souls.
Yeah, I just loaded it up on the Xbox just to see.
PlayStation.
I think that one has an up like a up convert on the X series.
Wait. Are you playing Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. Oh, I
was
thought
just-
you meant Demon Souls. That's me. That's me. My
I
bad.
was
Yeah.
I was just looking for a game that I could load up on the Xbox that kind of
Mhm.
show me something on it. But again, I'm still exploring the new X. So I just wanted to install something on it. Besides Outriders, I
Mhm.
did Dark Souls, and there's not really anything else I've really installed on it. I was doing up a little bit of reading up on the type of storage that should be used on it, and it kind of brought to light some of the things that kind of need to be mindful of when buying extra storage for this device, and what you can house on it, and
Right.
if you're gonna stick this extra storage on this device, it'll be utilized for older games. You
Mhm.
definitely don't want to put your next gen on these extra storage drives.
Right.
It's just not gonna harness the power, the true power of the technology that's built into that system.
Yeah.
So
That's a good call. That's
Yeah.
a good call.
No, definitely I think something that was talked about early on regarding storage, and it's on both of the consoles, Xbox and on PlayStation, that what you're going to play and you keep on your hard drive is what's going to take advantage of the new architecture. And so if you're loading up from an external drive, you're not going to have the features. And so it's still a juggling game. I still play the juggling game because I don't see myself paying $120, I think it is, for one more terabyte of storage.
I think it was a little further north of that, but
Yeah. something like that. That's
It,
for
it,
Xbox, because we still haven't seen anything for the PlayStation 5. So yeah,
yeah,
Well, they
basically,
said they were going to do that, though, right? There is an,
eventually, yeah. It's not out yet
Oh,
though,
okay.
but eventually, yes.
basically don't put old games on your internal drive.
Yeah,
Save that for the good stuff.
yeah. Now,
Whenever the good stuff gets here.
now, mind you, there are enhancements. And like I played Dark Souls 3, which I do have on my internal drive, and the loading times are zip zip. I mean,
Yes,
and
I
and
noticed
and
that.
yeah, I mean it gets you and keeps you in the action. Whereas before, if you died, you were gonna wait a good minute or more for that screen to load up again. So it's definitely, you will see. I'm not saying on all games, but that quick resume feature on Xbox is a heaven sent. I don't know what I was doing without that feature in my life before in gaming, especially with games like Dark Souls, where you just want to
Monster
get
Hunter.
back in the action. Monster Hunter, same thing, exactly. Sleek says in the chat, you need special external for new games. Current externals can't handle the enhancements. Any optimized game should be internal, and old bunch on the external. And that is
Wait,
100
before
correct.
before you guys go any further, it's time for the Charlie Brown and me to come out.
The Charlie Brown. What are you
It's time
talking
for
about, Jay? You're
Well,
like,
no.
you worry
What
me.
I'm asking is, was Sleek saying that the externals can't handle the current enhancements for the new games coming down the pipeline? My question would be why.
It's the architecture. It's the hardware that you have, Jay, in your hands. If you have an Xbox Series X or S or a PlayStation 5, the hardware that you have in there, and not to get any specifics and into the minutia of things, but there's hardware in there that is optimized to run in conjunction with each other. And so if you stick an old drive, an external drive in this case, into a USB port on one of these brand new machines, you're not going to get any advantage because that old hardware is connected to new hardware. I know you've read this in the word, but it's like putting old wine skins on the new wine skins. If you
Oh, okay,
try to
okay,
if you try to
I
do
get
that and then you pour it with wine, you pour wine into it, it's gonna burst. So
you. Yeah,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah,
So
I got
that's the
you.
whole idea. So that's the whole
Yeah,
idea
I mean,
about that.
and depending on the external drive you get, right? Because you're dealing with different types of drives. So you got
Mhm.
your spindle drive, which right there and then you have two speeds. You have 5400 and you have 7200, right? So
Mhm.
you could fault right there really quick by buying an external drive and sticking a 5400 RPM drive in there. That's the speed of how fast that disk spins around to grab your data. So that's two latencies right there. Then if you decide to go with SSD, it's a lot better than those spindles, but it's still not the technology that's built into the Xbox.
Right.
And it's just you can't use NVMe right now with that with that hardware at all. So you would have to convolute something really big to get that to work.
Yeah, these drives are, well, at least on the Xbox side, they offer you the option of going out and getting an external, 1 terabyte memory, right? That you can just stick into the back of the machine, which is compatible and is going to take advantage, just like if you was using the internal drive. The PlayStation 5, it's coming, but it's not here yet. And so that's one thing you have to be aware of. But let's keep it moving. Anyone here even remotely interested, and I am, to be honest, as to the PSVR, I'm calling it 2.0, coming, not announced fully like when it's going to drop or anything, but coming for the PS5. Anybody into virtual gaming, and is this interesting?
Yeah, yeah, it totally is to me. I love hardware like this. And I actually got to sit down and kind of look at it and what's involved. I think the fact that it's cordless
Mm,
is supreme. I think the capability of adding a battery pack and for extra for extra life on the system, I think is so good.
nice.
The one thing I was wondering is, are they gonna put a little fan in front of it? It re- it would be really cool if you could kind of feel a breeze,
Mm,
while you're wearing one of these headsets.
mm,
You sweat profusely inside
yes.
that PSVR. I don't know if you guys ever tried it,
Yes,
but
I have.
instantly, you start fogging up, a couple of minutes into your game, and especially if you're in a hot room. So, it looked good, man. I don't think I'm gonna run out and get it soon. You know, the thing that kind of did the PSVR in, was the lack of real good games. So you would have to, have a lot of money to just throw,
Mm.
at another set. So, but it looked good. I'll be honest with you. If the price point is right, it could be something that takes off, and I do believe that they're trying to make it affordable.
I'm
Okay.
encouraged. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Oh nah, brother, you was about to let it
No,
down.
no, I
So
was gonna
you want?
say, I was gonna say that I agree with Henyo and everything that he said. It being wireless is a must. I had the PlayStation VR headset, the second edition for the PlayStation 4 Pro, and the wires alone were cumbersome. Okay, I mean it kind of like it kind of reminds you that you're not fully immersed because those wires are there. And yeah, after a while, depending on what you're playing, you're gonna be sweating like big time. It just that's just one of the realities of VR. But I had great experience playing on my PSVR. But once I put it down and kind of like laid it to the side, for me to set it up again, that was the turn off. Like I was like, do I really want to take the time to set this up and configure this and all that other stuff? And I stopped playing it and I finally just, traded it back in and said, okay, it's not quite there yet. And I don't think that, in my opinion, again, I'm not an expert, just my opinion, I think we're a long ways off from VR like being mainstream for gaming and it being something like, yeah, this is great and it's just adding another layer. I think there's still a far ways off. Sleek says only time I will get into VR is when we have a dive system and a VR MMO like SAO, which it sounds like in
Okay.
2035. So,
Okay.
and I love me
So
some SAO, by the way. I
okay.
would be into something like that.
And that was gonna be my point, and I'm with Sleek all the way on this. You want first off VR? VR is in its like baby stage right now. Like it's just it's we all know it's there, but VR is nowhere where it's going to be. The moment we get here's a new RPG where you can just relax on your bed and put your VR over your face and just chill and you in the game, okay, I'm done. I'll be 70 and be laid out. Well, granddad at? He in the room playing the game. I mean, that's just the way it'll be.
It's
So
a
I'm with Sleek on
novelty. Look, it's a novelty. If you could afford it, you run out, you get it. You have a couple of friends over, you have a great
that.
time. You have your relatives over, have a great time, and then, like Sam says, you put it down, and it doesn't become a priority for gaming.
Right.
It's just something that if you happen to come across one and you got the ducats for it, you embellish and you play with it.
Yeah.
You know,
I
mine's
personally, go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut you
Mine's,
off.
I mean, mine's is literally ready to, like. All I gotta do is turn it on and put it on. I haven't disconnected mine's, but with the plethora of games that I'm playing, am I gonna play VR? You also kind of you close out everyone around you. Not that you don't close out everyone when you're playing a game already, but to really like disconnect that way to like put something over your eyes and then really, really like everything around you is totally ignored. It's a little bit of a drawback. You kind of everyone else in the room is kind of excluded from your life.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because what I wanted to say was that I like and I rather augmented reality. I prefer augmented reality from the announcement that Microsoft made. Yeah, I remember way back when they had the Minecraft demo on the E3 stage, and it just like rose out of the platform out of nowhere, and it was augmented. Like your surroundings there become like the stage for the game, and you're not disconnected from reality. It's just incorporated into your surroundings and into your reality. So I like that. I prefer that over over VR. I don't I don't care either way, but if I had a preference, augmented reality definitely. So but yeah,
Absolutely.
I
definitely
haven't dabbled
definitely.
with augmented reality.
Yeah. Let's move along, because time is ticking. I don't want to be here all night, to be honest, but we have so much to talk about. Um, Jay, let me go off the beaten path here for a moment, and I'll come back to Henyo in a moment. But how did you go from one arcade cabinet to how many now?
Uh,
Better not be
so,
4.
I don't know where he's putting these. Okay, I just
so I have X-Men versus Street Fighter, Mrs. Pac-Man, Ninja Turtles, and NBA Jam.
this brother got 4 machines. Okay, and one of them is a mod, isn't it?
Yeah.
He
Look,
had to go
y'all.
down the mod. He hasn't built it yet, though. I don't know why, but
I'm getting, but look, y'all. I'm a retro head. You get one arcade up machine. Anton almost caught it, but I think he's trying to break loose of the grip. But when you have one just sitting in your house and you just stop and you look at it, there's this feeling of nostalgia and
there
greatness
is,
that you see.
there is.
Look at it.
I'm
That's
tell, I'm gonna tell you this, Jay, and I'm gonna share with all you guys out there who are retro gamers, who love your old school gaming and emulating and all that. Let me tell you, Arcade One Up does a great job at feeding the nostalgia. Arcade
oh,
Mod Up does a great job at providing you, some pre-config, preset stuff. But after having my mod up, I have the TMNT cabinet 4-player and having it modded and all that. After having it for over a month now, first of all, I've yet to play. I mean, I've probably played like 1/100th of the games on there, because I keep going back to like the old stuff. All right, it's just like I look at some games and I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but I really want to play this game. Something I played in my childhood. But I will tell you this, I've been doing a lot of research and I've been looking, and I think I found the company that I'm going to go with to get my next cabinet already modded, and I'm going to stick a PC in there. I'm going to do my own PC emulation station and do launch box. I'm going to do it right, because
wait, hold on. Wait. You gonna buy the cabinet? Like a
I'm gonna
cabinet that's put.
buy a full size, like, to put a 32-inch screen in it, okay?
What's the
But that's
company?
that's
Like, put
coming.
them
I'll
out.
tell you. I'll tell you on the side. I'm not gonna do it here, but
Okay,
um,
okay.
but what I'm saying is this, guys, that you know, if you're gonna do it right, do some homework, because if I would have known of this a little bit sooner, I probably wouldn't have gone with the arcade mod up. Not saying anything negative about them, okay? Their product is quality. It's good to go. You're gonna have a lot of fun and everything. But if you have some knowledge, some working knowledge, and you're not afraid to tinker like I am, you can definitely go out there and pick up different software and compile the stuff that you want and put it together and then set up your own emulation station and literally like have stuff that you're going to play, that you're gonna go to, and not just stuff that's gonna sit in your cabinet and you're never gonna look at it. Like I have a lot of games that are Japanese. I'm not playing these games because I can't read the titles. Like can't read the menus or nothing. Okay, and I'm talking anything from baseball games to beat 'em ups. I just don't know because I can't read it. There's other games that a few, not a lot, but there's a few games that the emulators just don't play nice with the ROMs or the game files. And it's a shame because you're like, okay, the game is there, but I can't access it because the emulator just doesn't play nice. And if you're a person that you don't have any working knowledge of how to add emulators and tweak things and whatever, then that's just going to sit there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not that the majority of the stuff on there is not accessible. It's just that there's some things that you're going to come across that you're going to be like, okay, that's cool. It's there, but I can't access it because it's either foreign, as in language foreign, or you're going to need another accessory, or the emulator is just not going to play nice. And so, you know, and I'm talking about over 6,000 games. I've only found like a handful like that, okay? So I don't want to scare no one or give Arcade Mod Up a bad name because I'm definitely not doing that. I recommend it if you can't or you won't go down that rabbit hole of learning for yourself and tinkering. But for those who do, I would suggest, you know, taking another route. That's all I'm saying to that. So just gonna leave it at
Always.
that.
Wow.
He's giving you a branching path to take, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And sometimes, just like in gaming, there's always a set linear way. But sometimes they always program another path that you can take that sometimes may come with risk, but the payoff is amazing.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, if you're a person that, again, I can't cut a board straight. I would love to have a workshop in my garage. And maybe, who knows, maybe when I grow out my beard and get a little older, I might just get into wood shop and start doing this stuff. But right now, I love stuff that's pre-configured. But on the techie side, I've been tinkering for a while and I'm like, this here could have been done a little bit better. This could have been done with some more care. This really ain't as efficient. You know, you start seeing these things and, you know, you kind of figure, okay, I can do this and maybe save myself a couple of bucks and get a better product put together if I just put in the time. So, you know, let's move on from there, guys, unless anybody has to say anything else about arcade cabinets at this point.
I
Wait,
mean,
hold on. I got
could you do this on your PC?
Can
All
I do
this could
what?
happen on your PC.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, dude.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, but
Yes.
the feel of actually having the cabinet, that's
It's
the difference.
the cabinet is the housing, okay? And not just the cabinet, but the actual control sticks, you know, the buttons. I've been learning that there's different control sticks that are actually like arcade control sticks, you know. The ones that you're going to get with an arcade 1-up cabinet, they're not, you know, they're not like the arcade feel. You know what I'm saying? The buttons are not like the ones in the arcade. And so I'm not saying anything disparaging about it. It's just that that's what it is for the price that you're getting it, and it makes it accessible. Because if they were to stick in there like legit controllers, legit buttons, you're gonna pay. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pay.
Like,
So
all right, Henyo, there are many options out there, honestly, for arcade gaming. I mean, I'll be real with you, there really are.
yes, there is.
First off, just like computer, it depends on your budget. Because if you want to drop $6,000, you can go out here and get a $6,000 like 55-inch built arcade machine. It ain't hard. It's out there. With anything you want on it, it's all there.
Yeah, which to be
It's just
honest,
like,
Jay, I don't like it. I know what the one
I
you're
know.
talking about. I don't want to mention it
Yeah.
by name because I don't want to sound disparaging. But for me, I don't like it because what you're paying for there, guys, is you're not paying for the cabinet, okay? You're paying for the work that's going into setting up those emulators and giving you the configurations for you to add even modern consoles. You know, you can add an Xbox, a PlayStation, a Switch. You can do those things. And yeah, for the enthusiast, for the person who collects everything under the sun, yo, go for it. You got it. You got it like that. Go for it. I won't knock it. You know, you want a 55-inch screen TV as your, you know, your screen for your arcade cabinet. That's great. And I'm not exaggerating. That's actually what Jay's talking about. Like, I've seen these cabinets, but you know, I think it's overkill. That's just my take on it, and it takes away from the actual. For me, it takes away from the actual like nostalgia of things. Because when I think about arcade, I think about stuff that I can't access and get that feel on a current gen system. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
See, I'll tell everybody this. The reason I love Arcade One Up so much. I grew up in an arcade. I worked in an arcade. It was just my way of life. And every time I look at an Arcade One Up machine, nostalgia kicks me in the face because the machines are so close representative of what we saw back in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, once again, I ain't taking nothing from nobody. Arcade One Up does a great job on nostalgia factor. And even End Time can pretty much, back me up on that. You see your machine, you have when you have enough. When I literally walk down my hallway, because I literally legitimately have my games lined up in my hallway, I literally feel like I'm walking in an arcade again. And the machines aren't even on. You guys ever walk into an arcade before the arcade comes on, and then you see the guy and he turns on all the lights, and then all the machines start coming on, and you just get that excitement? That's how it feels when I have all my games lined up and I just look at them. And I can just turn them all on and just, for that brief moment, get that excitement. So it's just nostalgia for me.
Put another quarter in the jukebox, baby.
Right?
Put another quarter. That's the only thing you're missing, right?
Yep.
Just put another quarter in.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. At the end of the day, guys, it's the nostalgia factor is there. However you're gonna get your fix, my experience has been a great one all around. I'm just telling you guys, don't be quick to jump at the first thing. Do your homework, and depending on your degree of tinkering or non-tinkering or whatever it is, figure it out first before you decide to move forward. Like I was telling Jay, and I don't want to stay stuck on this any longer. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna move on. But I was telling Jay at first, I wanted to get the Pac-Man cabinet. Again, nostalgia. I love the way it looks, this and that. Then I saw the Outrun cabinet. I was like, oh no, it has to be Outrun. I said it has to be Outrun. But then I said, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do an Arcade One-Up cabinet again because I'm gonna reserve that for myself. I'm not gonna say anything else, okay? Because I don't want to sound disparaging. But I kept doing my homework and I looked and looked and looked and I saw something that I know I want and I know that I can put a custom built PC into it and it's going to do what I want it to do, how I want it to do it. And that's it. And I won't need anything else after that. So, that's where I'm at with that. So,
and I think that's the best move for you because it fits what you want to do. And that's what gaming's all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Most
doing
definitely.
What you want to do on your dime.
Most definitely.
Period.
All right, Henyo.
That's game.
Diamond's right.
Yeah, let me move you through your list because you mentioned Wreckfest, you mentioned Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 patch and running. Talk to us a little bit about those two.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Microsoft's trying really hard with Asobo to get Flight Simulator 2020 right. So they just, I mean, they update it, they patch it, they break it, they fix it, they patch it, they fix it, they break it. So
Yeah.
it's been a recurring theme, but along the way they've been throwing stuff at the community. The good thing is they listen to the community. You can hear it in the developer what you call it, streams. So it's a good thing right now. I think Flight Simulator is doing pretty good. I haven't run into no real bad issues. So I'm back up and flying. And Wreckfest is just becoming just part of the grind, the daily grind. I go in, I play one board, and I'm out. So I'm having fun with my games at this point. MLB is winding down. I finished my last conquest. So basically, I'm getting ready to put the disc back in its case and close the chapter on MLB The Show 2020.
2020, that's right.
Yeah,
And one
so
thing that you didn't mention before, I want to ask you and confirm it here, Henyo, because I'm not too versed again. But MLB 2021, the new stadium feature, to create the stadium editor and whatnot, is that only going to be a feature for the current gen consoles?
yep, yep. Only available according to them. It's next gen only. So if you're on an older system, if you are on the PlayStation 4, you won't be able to take advantage of that. That's a little, that was like, the fine print on on an advertisement. That's what it was. It was just like only on current new gens. They didn't make a big deal out of it.
Right.
So unless you didn't read that fine print, you're none the wiser. But at this point, you're gonna be on a next gen system and wanting to play this game. It looks so good,
Yeah.
man.
And you heard it, guys. So next gen is no longer next gen. It's current gen. I mean,
Yeah.
the systems have been out. They're here now. You might not have one readily available to you, but
No comment.
yeah, no comments. But if you are,
Yeah.
whatchamacallit, blessed to have one,
That dude, man, he put in the
Cannabis
comments.
scoundrel.
or two, or one of each, then hey, you got choices. You definitely got
That dude
options.
sat at the computer and said up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, select and start. I need 2 players. I need 2 of those. Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you, it's just please don't buy from a scalper.
like-
And I know that's easy for me to say. I got an Xbox Series X. I was able to hook up Jay with one. But I tell you, just don't do it. Don't do it, please. Anyways, let's move on. I think I got one more topic that I want to broach here, and it's actually should be the hot topic because it's in the title. And I don't know if you guys have been versed on this, if you saw the presentation today, but Xbox and Bethesda have sealed the deal. Did y'all get any scoop on that? Did y'all
Wait,
see?
hold on. So I was at the new job all day and I didn't. So I'm going to ask a couple questions on this if y'all don't mind me asking. Do y'all both know about it?
Yes, I know about it.
How about you, Henyo?
What regarding the news that broke today?
Yeah, the news that it's done. Xbox and
it's
Bethesda is official.
Yeah,
So-
it's official. It was gonna.
So did Xbox officially buy Bethesda?
Yes.
they
Cinemax
own it.
Bethesda,
Cinemax.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's been
Did-
approved.
So they got approval even in Europe?
Yes. It's done. The ink is dried. It's done. It's a
How much was it?
$7.5 billion.
Man, how do you just write a check for that like it's okay? Like how do you do that?
You know,
That
I'm
just
glad
lets
you
know
said
how much
that.
more money is behind it.
Oh my
But I'm
goodness.
I'm glad you said that. You know why? Because and I don't, and you know what? Let me get my let me get my jar for all the salty tears that I'm going to get with the comments, okay? I'm going to catch them here in my jar, okay? But we forget when we say Xbox and people on the other side of the fence who want to play the whole console war stuff and start saying, well, no, PlayStation got more people, this, that. Listen, you're comparing millions to billions. I don't have to say anything else, right?
Honestly,
you say Xbox, you really mean Microsoft.
the only thing I can say is the line he just said is straight facts. Not saying Sony ain't got no money. Sony
dude,
got money.
I'm not knocking it, but millions compared to billions. And you know, and I don't even want to start on the rant with I'm still hearing on YouTube from people, okay? I'm not going to mention nobody by name, going to keep it drama free, but Phil Spencer came out today, okay? Todd Howard is present. You have all these head people of Xbox, and the man himself, Phil Spencer, straight out the gate, when asked about exclusivity, he said, listen, I'm going to be as crystal clear as I can be so people can hear me. Anything that has been produced, like legacy games, we're talking about, that means old games.
Did our audio drop?
Was that?
Did his audio drop?
Yeah, his crystal clear.
Sorry about that. Can y'all hear me?
You went crystal clear dead.
Oh, sorry. Phil Spencer said, this is, I'm paraphrasing him, but go back and hear his words, okay? Crystal clear. And that's YouTube trying to, like, you know, throttle me and doesn't want me to speak the truth, but we're going to say the truth anyways, okay? He basically said any legacy games, that means any games that have been on other platforms, I'm not even going to mention the platforms, but on the platform that is there, they're going to honor that. They're not going to pull the games. They're not going to say, give me that. No, if you have it on your platform, you will have it there. But moving forward with any game, okay, that's not already in a contractual agreement, that had not already been in development with some sort of, you know, caveat or whatever it is, any game moving forward coming from Bethesda Studios and all of its glory, let's call it that, are only going to be found on Game Pass and wherever Game Pass is found and whatever platform that Game Pass is found. So for that's it. He couldn't have been any clearer. And why, you guys tell me, why is it okay for other platforms to keep their games exclusive on their platforms, but it's not okay for Xbox to do that?
You know, do you think Microsoft likes to spread itself around? So for them to be like really exclusive is like, oh, you know, that's so unlike you. You know, you want to be all over the place. You know, you want to touch everything.
Hold on, you trying to say Xbox? Hold on, you trying to say Xbox is the whore of the gaming world?
Well,
Microsoft.
Microsoft kind of likes to, you know, spread itself all over the thing, right? It just doesn't do one thing. So you kind of come to think that, you know, for Microsoft to hold to stuff, you know, exclusively, you know, is like almost like a full pause. Like, oh my God, really? You know, you're on every, you know, OS, you know, in the computer world, you're on different applications, you're on different hardware, you're on different this and different, and now all of a sudden your games are going to be exclusive. You know, it's like, it's something you're just not expecting from Microsoft, not Xbox. Forget about the Xbox name.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you.
That's the way I see it.
I agree with
That's
you.
the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that the reason for it now is because Microsoft is looking at Xbox in a whole totally different light, because before the leadership of Phil Spencer, Xbox almost died a couple of times. There was times that Xbox could have been just X'd out, honestly. You know, the top dogs could have looked at the gaming industry and could have said, you know what? Nintendo is kicking your butt. PlayStation is kicking your butt. Why are we wasting our time putting money into you? Let's just scratch it. Let's scrap it. Let's go back to, what we do best. But I think that people are missing something. I don't think that Microsoft per se has changed because they are a software company. The way that Phil Spencer has just, I think the man's a genius, to be honest. It helps that he's a gamer, but I think he's a genius because he must have sat on that board and said, listen, we're going to get this thing called Game Pass and we're going to build it. And it's going to be just like Netflix, just like Disney Plus. We're going to put the games on there and we're going to buy up companies and we're going to put games exclusive on there. And people, just like they go to Disney for The Mandalorian and they go there for, the MCU and Star Wars and this and that and the other, the same way they go there and they subscribe for those shows, WandaVision, is going to be the same way that they're going to come to Game Pass. And let's not forget, we don't even talk about xCloud. We don't talk about a near future where smart TVs are going to have built-in apps or downloadable apps where you can download the Game Pass app and you don't even need a console to play these games. That sounds like Microsoft to me. Doesn't sound like Microsoft has changed. They're all about that software, but they're about like, okay, we get it now. I think they were late to the party as far as like exclusivity and being serious about putting exclusive games, but they're inclusive in one side of the coin, but they were missing out on that exclusivity, those bangers, like we like to call them, on their platform. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just,
Don't forget, Microsoft also came late to the console game, and they turned things around. So it's almost like it's their style.
Yeah.
Okay. I said this on a podcast many moons ago, and I'm going to say it again. The moment Microsoft locked down the PC gaming way back when, they won the console wars. All right, people don't when you really, really think about it. I mean, I'll be straight with everybody. Microsoft had this thing in lock years ago. Nintendo knew. So Nintendo didn't invest in new technology like everybody else did. Nintendo did what Nintendo did best, family friendly, and it worked. Sony tried to fight Microsoft. Hey, we got money, you got money. Cool. But at the end of the day, when you look around, and even I had to join the dark side, PC gaming has always been the lead. They've always been in the lead, always had the lead, and have never let the lead go. And Microsoft just looked at that and go, okay, we know where the future is. We're just going to reach out our hand, dig in our pocket, and put some of that with it. And now we're just going to drag everything with us. And it's going to be a slow and steady crawl. But Microsoft has won. And I ain't selling Sony short on nothing. Sony makes a good product. Microsoft, I don't care what you say. You can throw me any argument you want. I will listen to you. And it's cool. Overall, just everybody admit it, whether you're a tech head or not, Microsoft has won this years ago. And they're putting their flag down going, do something about it. Please tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think, again, Microsoft, and we're talking Microsoft, not Xbox. Microsoft is a company that if they flex, yeah, they can flex. Just like Valve, Valve owns Steam, right? And I mean, those people just print money. When you're in a position like that, yeah, you can. But I think that Xbox, going back to Xbox, they had their growing pains. They came late to the scene, this and that and the other. I'm not making no excuses. The leadership is there now. And the
Absolutely.
direction that they're going in is definitely an awesome one, because just seeing them finally in a position where they got the studios, they're gonna have exclusivity on games. And I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with having to subscribe to Game Pass and to play these titles that are exclusive to Xbox, exclusive to PC, exclusive to the cloud. I'm good with that, because I've been doing that for years with PlayStation. If I want to play God of War, I had to go get a PlayStation. If I want to go play Bloodborne, I had to go get a PlayStation. If I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, I had to go buy a PlayStation. I never had an issue with that. And I think that that's what gamers are forgetting. We're gamers. We're going to go where the games are at. And I'm just applauding Microsoft, Xbox, Phil Spencer, Bethesda for getting it done and putting Xbox in a really, really good place moving forward into the future, because competition is great and we win, okay? If it was just PlayStation out here putting out games, or Nintendo putting out games, and one of them took over the other, that's no good for us, man. Because believe me, at the end of the day, it's business. It's all about them Benjamins.
And I'll give you a prime example of what he just said. EA and 2K Sports. Enough said.
Well, and we've been there. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yep.
You don't want nobody to monopolize anything. So
it's a proven fact.
Yeah, kudos to Microsoft, to Bethesda, that relationship as it continues growing. But please, guys, if you're listening to this, don't get me wrong. This is just my opinion. Please don't say, well, it's too early to say as to whether or not games are going to be exclusive. Phil Spencer said it. You're going to play on Game Pass unless the game had a previous pre-contractual agreement, or it's a legacy game and was already found on that platform. You're not going to see any Bethesda games or any of its companies that are under that umbrella on any other platform but Game Pass, and where Game Pass is found, because Microsoft knows we're going to grow Game Pass. Game Pass is going to be on your refrigerator, on your toaster. It's going to be on your calculator. It's going to be everywhere, whether you like it or not, right alongside Netflix, right alongside Disney Plus, and they're killing it. And guess what's going to happen? PlayStation is going to get on board. Nintendo's already gotten on board because they want that money as well. They're going to have to follow suit and develop something of their own, because if not, they're going to get left behind. That's just the reality. That's business. And whether you want to acknowledge it or not, Microsoft's leading the way.
A bit of gaming history to follow that up, ladies and gentlemen. Nintendo and Sega, they led the charge at 8-bit. They held the charge at 16-bit. Sega jumped ahead at 32. And then PlayStation just punched everybody in the mouth until Microsoft stepped in. So gaming history, everything that happens, go back and look at the history. It's just going to continue.
Yeah.
And now it's Microsoft is where Nintendo used to be. And that's the truth.
Yep. All right, guys. We've been getting a little bit long in the tooth here and on tangents.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Henyo, if you don't mind, I'm gonna end off with on your list, you're talking about Monster Hunter. I want to save the rest for our next time that we meet. But you were inquiring here about Monster Hunter, and I'm curious because I know it's something you've mentioned a couple of times, but I don't think you've quite jumped in there yet.
Right. Yeah, I just haven't. Lately, I just been a little bit pressed for time, but to explore games. Yeah, it's hard for me to get into that game.
Mm.
You know, it's almost like it's hard for me to get into Nintendo. You focus on the shiny things that are around you first, and that's the
Yeah,
case with me right now. There's just too many different things from that I kind of gravitated to at the moment, and to focus on Monster Hunter. It's gonna take a lot to kind of pull me into that realm, because number one, it's a new type of gameplay for me, right? And it's something that you kind of really have to like devote yourself into, and take time and kind of nurture it, and that's what I'm feeling about it, and I'm just afraid that I just don't have the not the focus, but like the want in me to really devote time into that game. It just, it's not coming naturally. It's not pulling me in like another game would.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I don't think that just I came to appreciate, and I'm gonna use this as my own personal experience, but I came to appreciate Dark Souls because of Monster Hunter. And that sounds kind of weird, but it's the same to me in the sense of when you play Monster Hunter and you understand what it is and how to approach the game, you know, it's the same with Dark Souls. Dark Souls, if you go in there and you think, oh, it's a hack and slash, I'm gonna go in there and just barrel roll through everything, and you don't stop to understand that there's actual, gameplay system in there, that it's an RPG, that there are mechanics, there are things that you have to learn. um you have to grow with the game, and it could be a slow process. Then you forfeit that, and your experience is not going to be a positive one. And that's something, again, like you said, Henyo, it's got to be something that like is kind of born in you, and you say, you know what, I really want to play this game. I have this sense like I need to get into it, and then you go in there and you play and you discover the game. But if you don't even have that, I think that initial drive, then I don't think you'll get it. It
Yeah.
just won't be
actually,
something for you.
And you're right. Dark Souls does look like a hack and slash so far. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
I've only literally like installed it and played like
Yeah.
maybe 10 minutes of it. I'm still getting
Yeah.
hints on how
Mm-hmm.
to move about. So again, a lot has to do with spending quality time
Mm-hmm.
with a game, and that's just something that I don't have. I
Yeah.
don't have a lot of time, so
Yeah.
I can't devote myself to a certain amount of games.
Yeah.
now, Henyo, I do want to say this though. With Monster Hunter, I guess the one leg up we had over you is we started Monster Hunter together. Like when End Time was starting, I was starting. And that's usually how we usually get all caught up in games is if we all start a game at the same time, we always either go back to it, or like Monster Hunter, we started Monster Hunter at the same time, and it grew on us because the more I researched and played hard, the more he would. Then he would discover something different, and then I would. And then it just grew. And that's how it was with the division. So,
Mhm.
I think starting solo in games like Monster Hunter or whatever the case may be, sometimes finding a group to just line up with, starting fresh with, will give you that motivation to push forward.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, and I'm gonna throw this out there for whatever it's worth, but and I'm throwing it out to you two guys. If Outriders is a game that you guys are willing to jump into, I'm willing to jump into it because just of what Jay just said. I would love to start this game with 2 or 3 people and experience it that way from jump. Like I played the demo with my brother, and it was a totally different experience than playing it by myself, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, I would love to start with 2 or 3 people, and for us to get that experience right from the beginning. um and that way we can form, or maybe even forge, kind of like that relationship in the game, because Jay's right. I don't think I would be in love with Monster Hunter and it becoming my most favorite franchise of all time if it hadn't been because we started playing and discovering the game together. Because yeah, I would have been super lost and had no motivation to like really look into the systems of the game and put the time into the game. But I've been looking for a game since Anthem, to be honest. I wanted Anthem to be successful. It wasn't. I still think that there's a game there that I hope one day in the future before I die, it could be resurrected somehow, some way. But Anthem for me was like, this is the game. This is going to be it. And we all saw what happened. And Outriders can probably be that game. I really did enjoy Outriders, and it reminded me so much of Anthem with the special abilities and the rewarding of using your powers and the aggressive gameplay. So I would love to experience this game with a group. So you guys let me know. Leave some comments if you guys are gonna play Outriders in the chat.
Henio, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When was the last time you sat down and began a game at ground zero with a group?
The Division.
The second one.
The Division 2, yeah, the second one.
The second? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one I want to say, you know, I started off a little bit by myself and later teamed up. But with the second one, everyone, like all the friends that I made on the first one was like, all right, let's huddle up. So I already had a core of friends that I knew I was gonna hook up with and
yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I would, and to be honest, you know, I didn't have the time to grind like they did, so I was always a little bit behind. Like they were always participating in raids, and I'm like, I could barely, you know, schedule you guys on the same page, right. You know, to find time to sit in a raid, right. and grind for 5 hours straight. That's just, it's impossible for me to sit down and play a game for 5 hours. It's impossible.
I get it. Yeah. And that's why I like our group. Believe it or not, Henio, it's a lot of us. It was always me and Anton. We would be on, and if you would just be like, "Yo, I got an hour. I need this weapon, or I need this dude," in an hour, and Anton can agree with you. We will grind you to the death until we got it in an hour, and we wouldn't stop. And if we got it and we could give it to you, you just got it. Yeah, and that's the way our group rolls.
Yeah, the Friday night special, man.
Yeah, and the other element of that, because I think, even in a group, there's always going to be the one or the two that's going to have that flexibility. Like Jay just said, we played it, but we also knew that we wanted our friends to enjoy the experience, and we wasn't trying to carry anybody, because I don't like to be carried. I'm telling you, I will not play a game with you if you're like, yeah, just stay here and I'll go kill everything. That's not fun for me. You know, I want to put in and we would purposely scale down our game so that our friends who were playing not as often as us can actually like get in there and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so, hey, I'm just gonna end it with that. Outriders, it's around the corner. I'm gonna be buried neck deep in Monster Hunter Rise, but I'll be willing to have. Listen, let me not don't interrupt me. I'll be willing to have Outriders on the side for when y'all want to play. I'll be like, okay, let's go and let's put some time into it, and we can grow together in that game. And I'll be willing to do that.
Henio, are you going to get Outriders?
It is, yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think I would.
Okay. Announcement to the world. Henio, if you get Outriders, I'll go pre-order and I'm in. No. Every time I say it, I do it. And Anton can back it up.
Look, it looks great on the Xbox Series. It looks great on the Xbox Series. And would I commit? Yeah, I would.
Yeah. If you commit to this game, I'll commit too. I'll go put my money where my mouth is.
Well, before you guys commit, can we just... I want to wait and see. I don't need to be there day one. I want to wait and see. I want to see a couple of reviews on this game.
Yeah.
Let it be in the wild for like a month. Let's do that. Okay? Let it be in the wild. Let's see what people say. Let's see what the speed runners, who inhale games and they live in their mother's basement and they got no life and that's what they do. Let's see what they say as far as like the end game and the content and all that. If it's there and it's lush, I'm willing to jump in. But if, it comes out and it's all buggy and it's just more the same old, I'm not going to put my money into it. I'm just being honest.
Now,
I've been burned one
tell
too
you-
many times. I ain't not going to do it.
Go ahead, Enyo.
No, we do got games lined up. I think
We got
all,
games.
You know,
MLB, Monster Hunter. I mean, come on. We got games coming up.
yeah.
We got commitments. I put a ring on Monster Hunter Rise. Give me some time, man. I need that honeymoon.
I got two. I got two rings because I got one on Monster Hunter, one on Alien Fire Team. So I mean, I don't know.
But Alien Fire Teams is, whatever.
Dude, you committed too.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, you gonna back out now?
No, you told me. You play the game. I said, yeah, I'll be down. I'll play this game. Yeah.
That's all that matters to me.
No,
You
but
said
that don't
you
mean
down.
I'm gonna
That's
run
it.
out day one and get it. I want to play.
not-
I want to play Back for Blood, but I'm not like, oh, I'm 100% committed because you know how it is, man. People say,
I do, I
yeah,
do.
and then
I
nobody
know,
gets it.
I know.
And I know some of our cheap friends. We got some cheap people in our community talking about, is it on Game Pass? Because if it ain't on Game Pass, I ain't playing it. And then it's like, and then what the games that are on Game Pass, they be like, I always play the same game. There ain't nothing on Game Pass. I'm like, dude, there's no satisfying you, man. You should just get backhand slapped. That's all you should do. But anyways, I'm getting off the topic here. We're getting full of drama, so
We're gonna play some games, damn it.
we're going to play games. That's right. Anyways, let's shut it down, guys. We've gotten far and deep into this, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed the chat, the conversation. Thank you, Henya, for making some time out of your schedule. I know it's tough,
Thank you, Henya, so much.
but this is just a chill time for us as
Jay's
well.
gonna be saying the same thing shortly.
Yeah, Jay, we're just, this is probably like the last couple of times we're going to see you before, you're out there and we won't see you again for a while.
This is Thursday, so I'll definitely be Wednesday, Thursdays. I'll still definitely be here
Okay.
in full effect.
All right.
Now, if this was like a Friday night, then yeah, I'd be to the wind.
Do you
It's all
still have
good.
to wake up at 5?
No, it's a whole new schedule for me.
Look at that.
I'll be going back to overnight third shift.
Okay. It's going to be
So
good.
it's better for me.
It's going to be all
I
right.
need
It's gonna
it.
be all right.
I
All
need
right.
it.
Any final comments, Jay? And then Henyo, and then I'll shut it down.
Hey, happy gaming, guys! This year is the year. 2021 gaming is gonna get dropped on its head. You better spend your money right, spend your money wisely,
You know I did.
and and game hard. Be a Henyo, go crazy.
I have no comment.
If
And I was thinking to that
Henyo
comment.
survives to give us the
Oh.
testimony, then we'll talk about it the next time. But Henyo, anything else you got to say?
We're getting near that time to start gaming up again. Games are gonna come out. We're gonna ramp up, and it's just a matter of devoting to a game and spending quality time with it. There's a topic on my mind that I wanted to touch, but it's really late now. But it's just being a master of one thing or being a jack of all trades. You really got to find yourself and of who you are when you're gaming. And there's there are masters of
Good point.
games and there are jack of all trades. And I
point.
feel I'm on the jack of all trades, and is that such a bad thing? But that's a topic for another day. So I'm just gonna say,
That's
You
a
know,
good.
can-
That's a good comment, brother. I gotta remember that.
I hear you, Henyo, and yeah, I apologize because I saw that in the very beginning, and then I just kind of like glazed over it. I thought it was just
That's
a motif he was putting out there, but that is definitely a topic. Especially now, we are living in a time
Yeah.
where consumption of anything is just given to you. And some people, again, they breeze through stuff. Other people just ain't got the time. And I'm definitely one of those that I don't have the time, but when I do sit, I want to and purposely do set my time out to play. And I want to keep it drama free. I want to have fun, whatever platform it may be, and with whoever I'm gathered with, and just have a good time, because it's gaming. All right, it's not life and death, it's gaming, and it's something that we love to do. So all right, guys, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here live. Again, this is Drama Free Gaming here on youtube.com, and of course on anchor.fm/DFG Podcast. We'll catch you on the next one. Be good, do good, and keep your gaming and your life drama free, people. Later.
I'm sorry if I talk too much to you.
You don't talk enough.
I don't talk enough? Well, if you let me.